So I've decided to get some new tyres for the Suzuki, and it's like diving into a massive swimming pool of opinions. There's a lot of forums out there and everybody's got different beliefs and opinions. So I thought I'd run through my thought process to see if it helped anybody. So the first thing is there's facts which are verifiable. And so size is a fact, and I'm after a 130 on the rear, simple as that. Number of plies or belts on the tyres a fact. Tube tyres, it looks like, has about 3 ply, and tubeless has about 4 ply. And the reason you want more ply is it gives you better puncture resistance. Compound hardness seems to be related to mileage, but I'm not that bothered about that. Pattern. Look, pattern is verifiable, but it's very subjective. You either like it or you don't, so it may fall into the opinions box, but I'm leaving it in the facts box because I know what sort of pattern I like. Cost is a little bit irrelevant. The range is 285 for two tyres to 400. I'm not too bothered really about the cost in that range. As it turns out, I ended up at the top of the range, but I'll show you that in a minute. And then I've put in their mileage experience. So if somebody says, you know, they've bought a Shinko tyre and they got 3,000 miles out of it, well, I think it is a fact because it's verifiable and it helps you make your decision. But again, all tyres will have different mileages depending on how they're ridden, the weight of the bike, off-road versus on-road, etc. But I think mileage experience, you know, I listened a little bit to that. So these are the sort of, the 3 red ones there are the things I must have. So I did want a 130 on the rear. Obviously the front's a 1990-21 or whatever. And it has to be 17-inch on the rear as well, obviously. I would probably like more plies rather than less, so tubeless probably the way to go. I do know what sort of pattern I like. I don't want it too aggressive and I don't want it too soft. And those 3 are probably my 3 main facts that I'm after. And again, I said cost, I'm not really bothered about. Opinions. So opinions are judgment based on facts. So better puncture resistance if I use ply as a proxy. Better mileage using hardness. Less road noise. What's difficult, that one, it's usually relative noise, but very few people actually measure road noise, so it might actually be a belief rather than an opinion. But it could be related to your pattern. So as we all know, if you run a motocross tyre, it tends to drum along the road. But if you use a road tyre, it tends to be a lot quieter. And then the other one is personal on-off experience. So some tyres have got very, very hard sidewalls, and they're very difficult to get on and off the wheel. And so I have had a look at what people have said on their personal on-off experience. And then beliefs. Beliefs are inarguable convictions, as they call it. So you can't really measure these, and you know, it's like just people's beliefs. It's just what they report. So, you know, some people will say, oh, this tyre's great at this, and the other person will say, no, it's not. And so again, you're down into the beliefs bucket here: grip in wet, grip in mud, grip in sand, grip on rock, grip on gravel, and corner handling. But what I've done for opinions and beliefs, I've gone into the community. So DR Riders is obviously good. Thumper Talk, I think, is another one. Adventure Riders, another one. And I've had a look what people like on tyres. So I've read all the community comments in these 2 buckets to get a feel for what people like and don't like. But really, this is the ones I'm going to try and go after at the end of the day. Opinion, everybody's got an opinion. There is no optimum. I can tell you now there is no optimum, and everybody has an opinion. And so that's sort of where I was coming from. So if I go on to, I use Motorcycle Tyre Warehouse. I thought that was a really good website. It lists all the tyres, and you know, Shinko, I did originally think I was going to go Shinko, and I was actually ready to order that until I read a post that said they're okay for low cost tyres, which is why people buy them. Other people may have a different opinion than that, but I thought that post was interesting. So I do like the tread. I think the tread looks good. I think the size is perfect. It's a 130, 17 obviously. The price is pretty good, but I did read about the wear wasn't great, and probably because it's slightly lower cost. The Motors Tractionator RALs, or whatever they're called, they're tube tires, so they've got less ply than tubeless. Pretty good price. I have read things about wear. I have read things about the handling, not great. And the pattern, as you can see, is very blocky. And I have heard it's got a bit of noise. And so I was sort of, yeah, I'm not sure that's as aggressive as I want to go. The Dunlop 606 gets a great write-up, especially if you're in sand or a lot of off-road. It's just a bit too aggressive for me. I did run tires like this on a Yamaha trail bike once, and it was great for what I did. I'm also not sure we can get 17-inch 130s in Australia for the Dunlop 606. I haven't seen them. Well, I didn't see them on this site, in fairness. They're pretty low cost, so I'm not sure I can get the size. I have heard they're really hard to get on and off. The handling and the pattern noise can be a bit hard because of the edge, the blocky tread. And I'm not really doing that much extreme off-road, so they're probably a bit too aggressive for me. And then the Mitas and the Hyundai, or whatever they're called, Hidon, whatever they're called. Look, reports vary. Some people swear by them, some people don't like them. Some people say they're really hard to get on and off. I actually don't like the pattern. I don't think that's a great pattern. Other people may disagree with me. We're into the beliefs and opinion bucket there. And so when I looked at all the tires, and there's a lot more tires on Motorcycle Warehouse. There's Bridgestone and Metzler and everything as well. So I did look at all the tires to see what I'd like. And where I ended up is the Motors Tractionator, the Dual Venture and Adventure, and they're both tubeless. So 90-90-21 and 130-80-17. And so I went with these two tires. I like that blocky tread. It's not too aggressive. Apparently get good wear out of it, and because it's tubeless, they've got good plies. So that's the tire I went with. I haven't tried it yet. It's just been delivered, and as I said in a previous video, I'm going to run my trail wings down till they're finished, and then I'll put these on. And so the size was right, the ply was right, I liked the patterns, and the cost was okay, $400 for two tires. I can live with that. I also got some ultra heavy duty tubes. So I got 21 and 17 ultra heavy duty tubes from Adventure Bike Australia, and I'll also fit them at the same time when I fit them as well. So with the extra ply in the tire and the ultra heavy duty tubes, I should be pretty good avoiding punctures. And so that's where I've ended up. So I've got them delivered now. As I said, I'll run my other tires down to nothing, and then I'll show you how they fit, and I'll show you how I take them off and put the new ones on, which could be a long video and a lot of swearing, but that's where I've ended up. So as I said, these have been bought, they've been delivered, and the tubes as well. And my objective now is to get the mileage under my belt so I can get the other tires off. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped you.